Your FastMCP server runs perfectly in development, but Claude Desktop just won't recognize it. The missing piece is often just one configuration file. We'll set up the exact mcpServers, JSON structure Claude Desktop needs to discover and launch your server. No more guessing why your tools aren't appearing in the UI. Here's how to bridge the gap between your working server and Claude's isolated environment.
mcpServers, dice roller, command Python, args //your/server pi.
This demonstrates the configuration as code pattern for server management. The JSON structure defines executable servers as declarative manifests, separating deployment concerns from implementation logic. What makes this distinctive is how it treats server execution as a standardized, repeatable process rather than ad hoc commands. The pattern works by externalizing runtime parameters into a structured format that both humans and tools can understand. By defining the command, arguments, and environment in a single manifest, you create a portable specification that can be version controlled, validated, and modified without touching the underlying server code. This enables consistent deployments across different environments while maintaining clear separation between what runs and how it runs. This approach solves the problem of environment-specific configuration drift and manual setup errors. It's particularly valuable when managing multiple servers or deploying across different platforms, as the manifest becomes the single source of truth. The trade-off is initial setup complexity, but the payoff comes in maintainability and reproducibility, especially critical for AI tooling where consistent behavior is non-negotiable. Let's break it down line by line. This opens a JSON configuration object. JSON's key-value structure is perfect for defining server configurations, tool registrations, and runtime parameters in a human-readable format.
mcpServers
Defines the MCP server configuration block. This is where you declare all external services your FastMCP instance needs to manage, each with their own execution parameters. The key names become service identifiers for internal routing.
dice roller
This defines a named server instance called dice roller within the MCP server configuration. The key serves as both an identifier for the service and the endpoint path where it will be exposed to clients.
command Python
Specifies the executable to run the server script. This must point to your Python interpreter, ensuring the system knows which program should execute the server. PyFile.
args //your/server pi.
Specifies the command line arguments for the server process. This array passes the Python script path to the interpreter, telling the system which file to execute as the MCP server implementation. Standard pattern for configuring executable entry points in process managers. This closing brace terminates the dice roller server configuration block, completing its definition in the MCP server's configuration. It maintains proper JSON structure, ensuring the parser correctly interprets this as a discrete server entry rather than a nested continuation. This closing brace terminates the dice roller server configuration block, completing the nested JSON structure. It ensures proper scoping of the command and arguments, preventing them from leaking into other server definitions. This closing brace terminates the JSON configuration block, finalizing the server definition for the FastMCP service. It ensures proper structure by completing the nested object hierarchy, preventing syntax errors in the config file. FastMCP configuration pattern. The MCP JSON configuration defines how servers integrate with clients, using command /args for execution and n for runtime variables, while UV handles dependency isolation. Argument order matters. Python version and project settings must precede package specifications to avoid silent failures. This declarative approach separates server logic from deployment concerns, enabling consistent behavior across environments.
The configuration that disappears into the client becomes the server's only visible face.